So, good afternoon to everyone. It's already 3 p.m. I guess we can start, and welcome to all of you who are already here. Welcome to all of those who will join us a bit later. And welcome to the last but not least webinar within the series, which is called Boosting Sustainable Partnership. And today we are going to talk about different practices and discuss the real cases of cooperation between social and traditional businesses, specifically in Latvian, Georgian, and Ukrainian context. Today's webinar, as I already said, this is the last one within the series of Boosting Sustainable Partnership. And this series is organized within the bigger project, the common international project between Latvia, Georgia, and Ukraine, which is called Mutual Learning Towards Boosting Sustainable Partnerships between social and traditional businesses, which is being realized by Social Entrepreneurship Association of Latvia, Social Entrepreneurship Alliance in Georgia, and the Ukrainian Social Academy. And this is thanks to the financial support of the Ministry of the Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Latvia. As usually, we have a possibility to attend and to hear our own native languages. The main language will be English, but you have also an option to choose the translation, the live translation into Ukrainian and in Georgian. And we will just take the technical minute to explain in our languages how to choose the options for translations. So I will just briefly explain in Ukrainian, and then I ask my colleague Salome to explain in Georgian. Отож, дорогі друзі, хто хоче слухати вебінар українською мовою на вашій панелі у Zoom, знизу є таке віконечко, іконка глобус, натисніть на неї, вона підписана переклад, і оберіть українську мову для перекладу, і таким чином ви зможете постійно чути українську мову, бо сама основна мова вебінару буде англійською. Дякуємо. І ваші коментарі у чаті ви також можете залишати українською мовою, якщо так зручніше. Thank you. We are done in Ukrainian. Salome, please.
Thank you, Petro. So hello, everyone. მეგობრებო, თუ გსურთ რომ გამოიყენოთ თარგმნის ფუნქცია ქვედა სიბრტყეზე, მოძებნეთ interpretation ღილაკი და მასზე დააჭირეთ ქართულ Georgian ღილაკს. ამის შემდეგ თქვენ საუბარს გაიგებთ ქართულ ენაზე. შეკითხვებისათვის შეგიძლიათ გამოიყენოთ ჩატის ბოქსი, დაწეროთ როგორც ქართულად, ისე ინგლისურად თუ კი გსურთ და მოგვიანებით ჩვენი სპიკერი ან ნებისმიერი სხვა პირი გასცემს პასუხს. მადლობა, წარმატებას გისურვებთ. So I'm also done with Georgia.
Thank you. And all of you can also leave your comments in Ukrainian, even in Russian, in Georgian, as you wish, as it's more comfortable to you. And now we are going to the different models of cooperation between social and traditional businesses in Latvia, Georgia, and Ukraine. And in order to make this webinar even not just informative from our side, but more interactive, we will go to different perspectives and different working cases of cooperation between social and traditional companies. If there are social entrepreneurs among us, please leave your comments, leave your experiences. Maybe you have experience of work with traditional business in different cases, whether they were successful or not successful, maybe about your plans. This will help us also maybe to make this webinar more interactive and practical to you. What we are going to do today, actually, during the couple of weeks, even the couple of months, those three other organizations, Social Entrepreneurship Association of Latvia, Social Entrepreneurship Alliance of Georgia, and the Ukrainian Social Academy, we did a kind of research in other countries in order to explore and to see what's going on, what are the practices, the challenges, the perspectives of cooperation between social social and traditional enterprises. And we did a kind of mapping research to find those practices. And each of us, we did a series of in-depth interviews with the key stakeholders in Latvia, Georgia, and Ukraine. Among the key stakeholders in the field, I mean the directly social entrepreneurs and the representatives of the traditional companies. Under the traditional companies, I mean like those for-profit oriented, like that's to be clear. And in that regard, we ask the business owners, the business managers, CEOs, or those persons who are responsible in companies for any kind of cooperation or implementation of CSR policies, etc. And after that, after those interviews, we did a kind of analysis of outcomes. And right now we are going to share with you what we have discovered, what kind of practices we discovered, and we'll go through each one. And actually, during our interviews, we asked the series of questions in order to get the general picture of experience of what kind of collaborations are between social and traditional businesses, how the process is going, why do social entrepreneurs and or the business owners, why do they want to cooperate, or to understand their motives and reasons. We aimed to get the impression what are the benefits of such a cooperation for both social and traditional companies. We also tried to understand the key points for improving the cooperation. So what needs to be done, especially by social entrepreneurs, to improve or establish new cooperation. We tried to see on that cooperation from the side and perspective of the traditional business, what gains and opportunities or chances for the traditional business. And of course, all these questions, all these outcomes will be supported by the real cases and the real cooperation models from our countries. Let's go on. And let's discuss different types of partnerships. So the first task we were facing, actually we discovered that there are different types of partnerships, different models, different frequency, different, scopes. And the first task that we did, it was a kind of to categorize, and we tried to in this presentation I will just put the main perspectives, and then we will go through each of them. So the one kind of partnership between social and traditional business is a kind of philanthropic partnership, which take place when one partner provides sponsor-like financial or non-financial support to social enterprise. Another group or another category of partnerships is so-called transactional partnership, which take place when both partners contribute to their business objectives. And the third type is a kind of integrated partnership. So it is about the joint development of new ideas, new projects, or new common products or services by both social enterprise and traditional firms. If you want to go to these models deeply, I highly recommend you to find it's freely accessible in the internet sources. Just type social business initiative. It was the EU initiative, the big project, with the final report about the cooperation between social economy enterprises and traditional enterprises. This report is accessible in English. I'm not sure how about the other languages, but why this is interesting because this is well informative with lots of cases, lots of recommendations, and you will definitely, if you want to establish a partnership, or you want just to get to know how it works, this will be a really good source to you. But anyway, let's go to each kind of partnership step by step. Let's start with the philanthropic partnership. Under this kind of partnership, We mean the possibilities for social entrepreneurs to get grants or any kind of financial support from companies. So normally it's a kind of the one-time projects or one-time support directly for the company or from the corporate foundations. Like the company can just make a decision to give you a portion of money, or the big, especially big companies, most oftenly there are international ones working in different countries, like you say IKEA, Coca-Cola, that have own foundations, and those foundations can support different social initiatives, and of course social enterprises financially. So this is a kind of one-time contribution in a way of direct money. It could be grant for business development. It could be one or a few times financial charitable support. Mostly those are not regular. And not only financial support. Here as well can be different kind of material support by different products, equipment, materials, free of charge. For instance, if you need a kind of, if you need to do some building stuff or fixing jobs, some company that produces different building materials can offer from you something. Or if the particular company makes some kind of equipment or furniture, probably that company can also equip you with some stuff. It could be in a kind within the philanthropy partnership. It could be providing any type of service by the business free of charge. It could be pro bono consulting, it could be pro bono mentorship, or some other regular or not regular advices. How it works in practice, I think the majority of us can immediately remind some examples. I will share a couple of examples how it worked in other countries. For instance, here is the project that it's not a project, but already existing restaurant and bakery, which is near the Kyiv in Ukraine, which is called 21.3. There are already two ventures. First, it started as the bakery. Later on, they opened a cafe. The social mission is employment of the young people with the Down syndrome and other mental disabilities. They can get the training, the official employment, and so on. And in terms of philanthropy, their models of philanthropic cooperation with business, it was on the initial stage when they did the fixing jobs. They have got some private agreements with different companies. That gave them different materials, doors, windows, furniture, and any other stuff in order to make necessary arrangement for the cafe. So this is a kind of example how it can be done with not just the restaurant business, but with any type of businesses. So it's a kind of, the most often in our interviews, our interviewed social enterprises communicated that kind of philanthropic partnership, it was mostly one-time support and mostly at the earlier stage of their business development. Here is the same example with the rehabilitation center, Samatushka in Ukraine. So actually different companies provided directly with the equipment or gave the money for equipment in order to make those like necessary rooms for rehabilitation procedures accessible for the social enterprise. Here is the Mziuri Cafe in Georgia. My pity, I was a couple of times in Georgia, but I haven't been in Zurich yet. So this is kind of cafe, a regular cafe, with a social and ecological mission. So the ecological mission is contributing to the taking care about the environment, and this cafe is adapted for any kind of people with different disabilities, and thanks to the support of different companies, this place is a kind of inclusive place, because thanks to the support of different companies, it was the necessary ramps were constructed and actually adapted to the people in needs. Another way of cooperation, it was that thanks to the support of one internet provider, the internet provider provided the internet services free of charge. So this is kind of, one-time support, financial, non-financial, to the social enterprises. So this is normally how it works. And the mechanism is the same, doesn't matter in what country you live. So the logic and the process is mainly the same. That was about philanthropic partnership. The most popular partnership we discovered, it was a kind of transactional partnership. How it differs from the previous one. So in philanthropic partnership, there is like the main actor is the traditional company that provides with services, money, or any kind of non-financial support. When we're talking about the transactional partnership, it's about mutual cooperation in different ways. And there are different possibilities, different models how the transactional partnership could be established. Here we can talk about sales activities. So actually other companies can be considered to be customers. So it could be establishing of different kind of the B2B sales from company to company. Social enterprises can be the suppliers to companies. They can supply different resources, or they can supply the whole products. Like they can do the main stuff in preparing the product, but finally to put the label of the big company who orders. Yeah, and including other company to the supply chain, it could be in both ways. Like social entrepreneurs can be suppliers, and at the same time, in different cases, the traditional businesses can be supplier to social enterprises. So in that way, social enterprises can engage small companies, traditional for-profit companies as suppliers. Later on, I will explain in the case. Under this transactional partnership definitely lies the retail business model. So those who want to create or launch a shop with the retail logic. So this is about the transactional partnerships, because you have the suppliers and then you are selling your product. Here also can be barters, like the social enterprise can provide a service that is needed for the traditional company. And the traditional company provide, like, not just pays money, like it's in the classic sales, but the traditional company can provide its service or products in return. And also during the previous webinar, we also were talking about the social responsible public procurement. When we're talking about the procurement in general can be also considered within so-called transactional partnerships. How the transactional partnership works in practice. Here is the social enterprise OVA in Latvia. This is the kind of the fashion brand. I definitely like those styles. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't find the image of the images of the high quality, but anyway, in terms of cooperation, in terms of transactional cooperation with traditional business company, this enterprise is preparing the proposal to different companies in order to make the corporate style clothes. So actually that can be definitely a kind of transactional partnerships when you see your potential business partner as your consumer, and you, like, on the regular basis can work with that company to provide goods or services for them. Another example, this is the I guess in English it would be the glass point. I'm not sure how to pronounce it in Latvian. If I'm wrong, please Livo or Regita correct me. So this is a kind of design studio that do a lot of different beautiful stuff, mainly from glass. So this is about the decoration or doing the different, like something kind of the juwelier stuff and so on. And this social enterprise is a good example of the different models of cooperation between traditional companies. One of them that in practice, this company, the Glass Point, is doing barter with the glass factories. So actually the glass factories are glass factories supply them different remnants of glass, and from which those guys are able to make different things. And they are working on developing new partnerships with different agencies, with different companies, in order to sell their products or exchange different stuff. This is the very beautiful social enterprise Dadari. I personally attended it in Georgia, and I felt in love with those wooden toys. Actually, this social enterprise, the social mission of the social enterprise is the employment of as well people with disabilities. They do their own like stuff with selling their products under their brands. But as well, they also have a nice cooperation with one, if I'm not wrong, the German brand. And for those other brand, they do some stuff. There are those beautiful, colorful cubes, which are in them on the picture in the middle. So they do all the production and packaging stuff, but they finally put the label of the other company. But this is the kind of transactional partnerships. So they do all the cycle of production and packaging, and just sell their products to their partners. So this is a kind of the ongoing and non-stop transactional partnerships. This is the Ukrainian brand, which is called Ozero. This is the retail zero waste shop. So the aim of the founders was to popularize to use different, daily stuff which are made not from plastic and which are eco-friendly. And they started as an online shop. Right now, there is an offline shop with the big, there is a big showroom. And also there are different, those guys have different types of corporations, different models of cooperation in traditional businesses. Like the easiest one is that they do the different, packages, the gift packages, and they suggest those products to different companies. But what's more interesting, it's like on the picture on the right, you see kind of the eco bags, and those bags, they normally they look for different local producers, the national producers. There are like small initiatives who do just only bags, and they try to find more and more local initiatives, local small businesses that do different eco-friendly things. And those local, those are like for-profit, normal, traditional enterprises. Those became suppliers to this social enterprise. Why Ozero is the social enterprise? Because the huge amount of their income they reinvest in different educational and training initiatives, especially in the kindergartens, at schools, at different companies. So the main purpose of this brand is popularizing and promoting zero waste culture. So actually, this is a kind of cooperation in this case, we can see that not just social enterprises can be suppliers to bigger companies, but the social entrepreneurs can engage local for-profit entrepreneurs as their suppliers. In the same way, they promote as well. In some case, they force local business development. Here we also have the case the mentioned earlier bakery cafe 21.3, but in this context I would like to mention another kind of cooperation. So on your pictures you see those young guys who have different mental disabilities. They are working there in their cafes and bakeries, but at the same time, with the training purpose, with the personal development purpose, the owners of the bakery and cafe have the private agreements with other companies, with other organizations who can offer different kind of jobs, and who can hire the graduates of those, who can hire those guys, because especially the people with disabilities, normally they are not able to do the routine job for a long time. So actually normally those guys are not working during the whole day. It could be 1 to 3 hours, and they need to change the activities. So in order to provide them different kind of work, the owners of that cafes established partnerships with different with other business owners about the possibilities of part-time job for their guys. So this could be as well another kind of transactional partnerships. Here is the rehabilitation center in Dižvanagi. This is in Latvia, in a very beautiful city, Liepāja. I also attended a couple of years that center. If I'm not wrong, they are not officially social enterprise. If I'm wrong, please, Regita, correct me. But the model they are working, it's quite inspiring, I would say. So this is a kind of the big rehabilitation center. There are 2 floors, like too many square meters. In that center, there are a lot of there are different kind of rehabilitation procedures, different physical training stuff, massage, and any other kind of therapy. But in the same time, the team, the Dižvanagi team, can rent their rooms for different, other training activities or some public lectures in terms of, healthcare or something else. So this is the kind. And they have already established some, long-term partnerships with different organizations who normally do some activities within the rehabilitation center. So this is just to illustrate another possibility how social enterprise can look for more partners. And this will also create another benefits in a way of generating other income. Yeah, I see in comments there is a question about the recording of the webinars. Yeah, the webinar is recorded and it will be definitely publicly accessible for all of you to watch it later. We are moving on and to the third kind of the third group of partnership, which is called integrated partnership. So under integrated partnerships, we are talking about such kind of cooperation when social enterprise or group of social enterprises and traditional businesses can work on common products or on common services doing by both social enterprise and traditional firms. Here can also be considered as social entrepreneurship. So this is a kind of activity when there is the traditional for-profit company, and this company initiates to start a small startup within the company. So this is the kind of startup within existing business, but this startup has merely social purpose. And within the integrated partnership, there is a kind of, it could be as a kind of social holding. And the kind of social holding I can suggest an example of one of similar activities. It's about the group of business, which is called Veterano Group, which is successfully developed in Ukraine. There is a group of company which are united around one social mission, the physical, economic, social reintegration and adaptation of the veterans, the soldiers who came back from the war zone to the peaceful territories. And this is the way when those soldiers, when those veterans start their own businesses. Actually, the veteran business in Ukraine during the last 5 years, it became already a trend. And according to the last data, I would say there are about 150 successful businesses launched by veterans. But in terms of so-called integrated partnership, there is the group, which is officially called Veterano Group, that incorporates different companies which also have the same brand. You see the different pictures. So it started from the Veterano Pizza, and now there is a network of those pizzeries around Ukraine. We have Veterano coffees, restaurants, we have the Veterano brownie, we have the Veterano cab, so this is kind of the taxi service, and there are many others. There was no enough space on the slide for different pictures, but it can also be the Veterano Guards, that's about the security service, and different fashion brands. There are different veteran businesses in the field of agriculture, but they are all united around the Veterano Group. And this is a kind of social holding, and there are different companies, but that are united and work for the similar mission. So those are like the main three kind of partnerships we were able to discover in Latvia, in Georgia, and Ukraine. And later on, we tried, as I told you previously, our aim was not just discover existing practices, but to analyze systems. Why social enterprises, social entrepreneurs want to cooperate with business. The most popular reasons and motives among social entrepreneurs were, as listed here, that social entrepreneurs considered such a partnership as the ability to start business or continue it through difficult times. So through philanthropic cooperation, they are looking for different companies who are ready to invest or to give non-refundable grants to business or to give any other support. Such kind of cooperation saves operation and production costs, especially through borders. Of course, the benefit is the financial profit because of new clients. So if the cooperation established, so the company became as the client, and upon different agreements, but normally when the kind of cooperation is establishing, the traditional business, especially if it is the big company, it communicates about such a partnership among the target group. So for social enterprise, there is a possibility to join to the new market, to the networks, and to the contacts of the partner. So that's the really great benefit. The benefit is, and the motive as well, it's about increasing business efficiency. So mostly, and that is common for all of our three countries, that social enterprises are born in the nonprofit sector, mainly from the NGO. And there is a temptation to manage social business as a nonprofit organization. And actually, it's the management is not really, the business management is not really effective in that case. So the cooperation with business partner It's about strengthening business and managerial capacity of social enterprise. And as a result, during the especially transactional partnerships, we consider the increasing of business efficiency of social enterprises. Of course, if you're talking about the partnership, it's about the negotiation skills development from the side of social enterprise. It's about obtaining recognition. Here, we mean that the social enterprises told us we were invisible, nobody knew about us, but when we start to cooperate with, let's say, a big, well-known brand, it was a kind of recognition. So, okay, if this brand established a cooperation with this social enterprise, it means something. So actually, it was a kind of the recognition of particular social enterprise. It's of course about increasing the brand awareness, because the big brand communicate about the partnerships normally, and this is new target audience, new networks and contacts. It's also about the new products or services that can be developed during such kind of partnership. And of course, last but not least, when the social enterprise established a successful cooperation with other traditional businesses, especially with the well-known brands, they became more attractive not just to their clients or the target groups, but normally the social enterprises in our countries are quite often look for different grant opportunities. And when the social enterprise declare the successful partnership, they became more attractive for other investors, or donors or other companies, because they demonstrate the capacity to work with business partners. And also it's about the strong business model. From the side of traditional business, why do traditional companies want to start cooperation? So our outcomes showed the next list of the benefits that such a partnership can bring to the traditional company. Especially the big traditional companies have the CSR policies, strategies, even CSR departments, or it became trendy to adopt different or to demonstrate how the company contributes to the achieving of this or that sustaining development goal. Therefore, a social enterprise can be, it's a kind of, instrumental using of social enterprise, but anyway, social enterprise trade its contribution to human poverty. It can be, this company can invest in a social startup or social enterprise that deals with the issue of poverty. Please make sure that your microphones are muted. There will be, of course, an opportunity to raise your question or to leave your comments with voice, but just a few minutes, please let me finish my presentation and then we can go to the discussion. Of course, one of the reasons and one of the benefits that the business owners can make, it can be a sincere willing to contribute to or to co-create the positive impact. It's not a secret that the big companies as well want to have the loyal clients and to become the socially oriented brand. So investing or supporting social entrepreneurship can bring the benefits or can create a positive image of the company. So the companies quite often use such a partnership in order to positive market positioning itself. Different HR, the people working with the human resource, with the talents within the company communicate that if the company practices support in different social initiatives or social enterprises, the employees communicate about their higher satisfaction. So actually, even employees of the company that support social enterprises feel their own contribution, that they are working not just for the for-profit company, but for the company that cares not about its profit, but as well about some social issue. Of course, the not least benefit for the traditional company is accessing the social network and getting support from the social sectors through close cooperation with some social enterprise. And unfortunately, but that's the reality, which is called social washing. So normally, I guess we probably know what the greenwashing means. So this is almost the same logic, but with regard to social projects. So especially the big companies who do a lot in terms of pollution or doing harm to environment or cause any kind of social project, want to whiten their reputation, and through the different collaboration with social purpose organizations or social enterprises, they want to become more and more so-called social. So in fact, such cooperation is not really good in terms of sustainability and impact, but that's one of the reasons why some companies want to have some partnership with social enterprises as well. That's a very important question. Because there are different, situations in Latvia, in Ukraine, in Georgia with the official status of social enterprise. So among our countries, only Latvia has official legislation and official recognition what the social entrepreneurship is and the criteria that make any enterprise social. And in Ukraine, in Georgia, at this moment, there is no official legislation, no official criteria. But to us, it was important to understand the role of the status. So is that what the official status of social enterprise gives to social entrepreneurs in terms of establishing partners? And those are the insights from Latvia we have got. So for social enterprises, the official status helped to enter the labor market, and it helped to start the conversation with customers. The status can build their trustworthiness faster because they can communicate that this status is approved by the ministry, and actually this is a kind of another proof that they are not just those guys who call themselves social enterprise and so on. So actually, this is kind of the verification stage. Some social enterprises have received invitations, so not just they are those who make the first step to a cooperation, but they received invitation to collaborate because they have an official status. And also most enterprises see this as an additional bonus, an important thing to mention during conversation and other, during conversation with business partners. But however, when it comes to the especially transactional partnership, so official status or social mission is not the priority. If you want to make a sustainable business partnerships on a transactional or integration level, the quality of product and the strength of business model is on the first stage, and later on social mission is a kind of the added value. How it is with the status of social enterprise in Georgia and Ukraine, as I already mentioned, we do not have an official law. And of course, the social entrepreneurs acting in our countries, they can just tell about themselves that we are social entrepreneurs because of our business model or our social mission. And actually but even if they are not official, if they not have official status, but when they communicate about themselves as a social enterprise and act as social enterprises, for big companies, it's easier to identify those projects they would like to invest within their CSR strategies. And for companies, it's easier to align their CSR strategies with the social mission, social enterprises. And also there are companies that put in their own official CSR policies the supporting of social enterprises. So actually, in spite of absence of the official status, in the public square, the idea of social entrepreneurship is becoming more and more present, and actually the big companies can as well able to identify the social enterprises. In terms of frequency of cooperation, so we asked how often you have collaborations, or what is the term of your partnership with the traditional companies. And in that regard, the answer was very clear and understandable. When we are talking about the philanthropy partnership, so the grants, consulting, pro bono activities, material support, product support, mostly those partnerships are a kind of the common project. So they are one-time project and they are not regular. They do not have the regular interactions. But when we are talking about the transactional and integrated partnerships, so it's about integrating of different companies to the value chain creation of different companies. When the social enterprise becomes a supplier and vice versa, it's about aligning business models. And of course, because this is integration of other company in our own business model, this is about non-stop cooperation, and mostly those cooperations, those partnerships are built on the long-term and clear contracts. And moving to the end, to some conclusion, we tried to identify the main points to improve or establish new cooperation. So if you, as social enterprise, and you want to start new partnership, to establish new partnerships, or you want to improve your existing ones, you should first take care about making your business model strong and profitable. That's the reality that the traditional for-profit companies firstly oriented for the sustainable the economically sustained and financially sustainable partners. Then the second point is strengthening capacities in business administration. So if we want to have a long-term and fruitful partnership with business, we need to speak and think. We need to speak on the language of business, and we need to think within the logic of business. So actually, we need to work on our personal managerial abilities. And of course, that's probably the main stuff in any kind of partnerships. It's to treat a partner company as a strategic partner, but not merely as a source of financial aid. Businesses are quite well sensitive. And if we come just with an idea to get the money from them, if we see in any organization just a wallet, but not a partner, 99% that this cooperation won't be successful. So actually the idea of partnership and the value creation to the partner first, of course, it will be resulted in our profitability later on. And the final message is about the key points to successful partnerships. So what to do if you want to establish a partnership. Of course, you have to have clear understanding of your for collaboration. Why do you need? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to get? If you want to get one-time support, it immediately refers you to look for different companies who have the active and clear CSR policy. You need to find the company who have their own foundations, or maybe you know that company regularly supports different social enterprises. Go to them, look on their CSR priorities or their social goals, or just look to the history of the social project this company supported, and probably you will get what do you want to get, whether money or any kind of non-financial support. Secondly, you have to have the strong value proposition. So this is about the thinking about the benefit your partner will get from your partnerships. So you need to treat your partner as well as a client, what you can suggest to your partner and what kind of value you can create. Very crucial is to be honest and communicate regularly and clearly during all stages of your relations with the partner organizations, and actually not to treat the partner as the mean to achieve your own goals. You need to help to your partner to become better as well. In that, partnership will be successful, effective, fruitful, and long-term. So that's about the key finding of our research we have done. Maybe there are some questions, there are some comments, or maybe you would like to share your experience of positive, negative cooperation with traditional businesses, or maybe you would like to share your plans, in what way you would like to start the cooperation. You can just share, you can write, or maybe you can switch on your microphone and share if you want. If there are some people who would like to share, to talk, or to ask questions, there is a chance to do that.
Hi. Hi, Petro. So hi, Petro, and thank you, Petro. Thank you, Salome, for organizing all this, and many people. Yes, I would like to thank you for organizing such an event. So this series of webinars, I was a listener, and I'm very grateful for that. So I'm happy to be here. I'm Maria Shashova. I'm a social entrepreneur from Georgia. I'm representing Project Madloba Gifts. Our goal actually is to support social and environmental friendly enterprises, to give them the chance to have big sales for corporate gifts. So we made a collection of beautiful and meaningful products. We have launched our project on last year, November 2020, but last Christmas we made 2 corporates happy with the gifts. So and executed a lot of personal orders. Like overall 300 gift boxes were distributed. And we're expecting this year like 1,000 boxes this year. So more changes in the lives of social entrepreneurs. And I would like to comment on like you said, Petro, I would like to highlight 2 points. As you said, we need to contact us as a social enterprise, as a social entrepreneurs. We need to contact the corporates, which we know that which we clearly know the strategy of CSR. But the point that for Georgia, it's a lack of actual understanding of CSR for now. It works with the international companies, yes, it is. But still, I feel my actual goal, not only supporting of social enterprises in my list, but also to teach, to teach the businesses, big or small in Georgia, not international, but the local businesses, how to make like how to help, how to collaborate for the impact. So I'm actually I'm thinking that I'm having my goal also for this approach of teaching, Now now I thought about what you said, and yes, it's all about it, because we have so many cases. So I'm contacting so little cases. So I'm contacting like many companies for now, because the Christmas is approaching. And people, yes, they do have willing to make their gifts, but the case is that they think that social enterprises, it means like to give help with no quality of the product. And actually my goal also to have a very high quality product in the list, to show that it's not just not to help, not buy all this stuff, any stuff or something, just because of the philanthropy or help or something. Buy this product because of the quality.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Absolutely agree with you. I'm thinking, Saloma,
Maria,
you would like to make some comment or react on that, please.
Thank you, Maria, very much for your comment and asking. It's also very nice to meet you like personally, because we haven't met before. You mentioned it's really right that here in Georgia, CSR is also being developed, and our research that was done in Georgia, it also highlighted that sometimes the decisions made by businesses, it's not according to their CSR strategies, but according to the people who work on these positions. Like, for example, when one person took place in marketing or CSR manager, a CSR manager position, and once she or he leaves the company, these kind of decisions and the will to collaborate with social enterprises or other social-minded businesses and etc. This will lives with this person as well. And what's more, like Petro has mentioned about the case Dadari, it was also a very nice case of the moment when social enterprise was very active. It started collaboration itself and had very active communication with business around him and around her, and this active communication caused kind of also caused the creation of CSR strategies in the business companies that she was communicating with. And for example, one business company even mentioned that when they started this negotiation, their office wasn't adapted for people using wheelchairs, and they just realized that it was very difficult for them to reach them and to get to another places. So this collaboration was really, really a nice example of how these kind of partnerships has social impact on both sides, not only like social enterprises, but also for business sides. So it was really like specific comment situation here in Georgia.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your contribution. Just a couple of thoughts to add to that. Of course, I really appreciate your position about the quality of the product, because nobody must buy our products because they are made by with a social mission. Of course, that the quality is on the first position. The social value is the added value for a client and for any other partner as well. But actually, so when we are gonna establish some cooperation with any other partner, especially with business, you can just keep in mind that if you want to have some collaboration with a big company, you have to keep in mind that, okay, probably that your reasoning is not the same reasoning of the business owner. Your goal is the high goal with the social mission. And in your value chain, you probably can consider some company that can help you with finances, awareness, and so on and so on. And the CSR policy is just only one of many options. But if you choose this option, that the CSR policy or CSR department or a CSR manager is the touching point how you can reach the company. You probably will not, if you go directly or if you write the message to the company's owner, it probably won't be successful. So in that kind, you just need to reach the CSR manager, probably if the company has the CSR department, let's say.
In Georgia, mostly it's HR manager, sorry
or
for
HR manager
marketing
communication manager.
Marketing.
And you need to understand, like, you need to put your legs in this person's shoes. If you approaching the HR manager, think about what the duties, what the task of the HR manager or the communication manager. If the communication manager's goal is to make
developing this
informational company, help this communication manager with your case to make a good communication for that company and for that brand. So this is the value you create to communication manager, HR manager, CSR manager, or whatever person. But this partnership with this CSR department or communication department, it will be a part of your value chain in order to achieve your social mission. So actually this company is becoming a client to your value chain that helps you to do to achieve your social mission more effective. So that's the reason how to to find the balance between your social mission, your like high social goals, your reasoning. But if you approach in this communication manager with your like high moral worldview, it won't be successful. You need to communicate on the business language, on the language of the person you are contacting with. And that's about value proposition you create to your partner. So you need to identify your partner, the tasks, the needs of your partner, and come with a clear value proposition. Okay, this is the cooperation. I'm suggesting my products. Please do whatever you want. And you will get benefits, and I will get my benefits, and all the society will be happy.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other comments, questions, reactions you would like to share with us? Okay, if there are no any reactions, to the end, to make a kind of the logic summary, because this is the kind of the last of the series, last webinar within this series. But this is not last activity we are inviting you for. So all of you who are looking us directly right now, or will look in the recording later on, you are all invited to our next event, which will be happening, which is scheduled the next Tuesday at the same time, with a kind of networking event. And you will have an opportunity to hear the real social enterprises from Ukraine, Georgia, and Latvia, who will share their experiences, their stories. And later on, you will have an opportunity to network, to communicate, to make new contacts. Actually, you can share as well your stories, your experience. And here is in your chat, there is a link for the description, and then please go register, put your names, and looking forward to see you all next Tuesday. And to those who would like, maybe those who with different reasons didn't put his or her comments or questions, if you see that we might be useful to you in order to give some advices of how to establish partnerships, of what the concrete steps, particularly for your social enterprises, needed to be done in order to find the partners among these different business, please message us, and you will have an opportunity to have an individual consultation on your questions. and we will be happy to help you in developing your social enterprises. So just contact us if you have, if you would like to have, or if you want to talk individually with some of our experts, and please register yourself, your names, and you're cordially welcome to our next week's networking event. Thank you to all of us. Thank you to my colleagues from Georgia and Latvia. And see you next week, and stay safe. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys. See you.